Hello everyone, and this is a Geek Must Have with a small post bag. And this package comes from room 403 out of Guangzhou, China. Let's open it up and see what's inside. And this is a 35 watt adjustable constant current and constant voltage load. It simulates up to 35 watt load. It has a little LCD panel here on the front. I'm going to take off the clear plastic that displays the voltage, the amperage, and the wattage, and what the drain is from the power source that's feeding this. This is a more, it's an intelligent version in the sense that it has a fan on the top that once it gets hot it starts cooling the unit off. The voltage that can go into this is anywhere from 3 to 21 volts, and it supports the QC 2.0 and 3.0 fast charging voltage test for the Qualcomm. I'll probably never use that, but it is a nice feature for it to have. This one came with a clear plastic acrylic base on it. Some of the other ones that I've seen advertised haven't, so that means you don't have to worry about shielding the bottom components from them shorting out when you just lay it down on a surface. This USB load is going to replace this USB load, which costs next to nothing, and you could change the amount of load by flipping the switches here in different order. You could get 1 amp, or you could get 2 amp, or you could get 3 amp. One of the things they kind of failed to mention, but you should know anyway, is these resistors that create the actual load get really frickin' hot. And I have burnt myself a couple of times pulling this off of a load unit by grabbing it here, rather than grabbing it here, and it's pretty easy to forget. So, to do my load testing on the battery units, I got this 35 watt. Goes up to 3 amps, has a meter on the side to allow me to do some testing. You can adjust both the voltage and the current that's being simulated out of this. So to test this 35 watt unit, I'm going to use my XIT power charger. It develops an amp at 5 volts out, and we'll plug it in to the side here. Of course it would be upside down. And turn it on. The boot sequence is in Chinese, and a lot of the display characters are in Chinese. I have zoomed into the control panel that's on the side of this USB load device. The initial boot up sequence for it shows some Chinese characters and some English characters. By clicking on the button that's right here, it's possible to change the display, so it gives you a better, bigger reading for what the voltage and the amperage is, and also how long it's been on, 5 minutes and 44 seconds, and that it's at 0.347 watt hours and at 0.068 ampere hours, and then it's currently using 4.130 watt. If I turn the amperage up beyond the amperage that we're currently using, which is 0.81, I'm going to turn it 83, 88, 98, 15. Oh, there we go. At 1.21, the battery pack shut down and the load shut down. There are all sorts of ways that you can use the 35 watt load tester. One is a standard USB port in the front that'll plug into most power banks. There's a female jack on the side, on the top up here. There are a set of screw connectors here on the side if you want to hook the power up via that. And then on the side, they have a mini USB, a Type-C, a micro USB, an iPhone 5, and another connector that I don't even know. And you can use any of these to connect this up to be able to simulate up to a 35 watt load. And it has a little piezo alarm here to give you an alert to let you know that you've gone beyond the maximum limit. There it is, going through the boot sequence. And it remembers the last display, which is that one that I had there. Oh, go back a little bit, leave it right there at 8.7. Oh, it's using 4.41 watts, 0.079 ampere hours. Shows that it's been on for 7 minutes. It remembers how long it's been on for, because I've disconnected the power bank from here a couple of times, and it's running a cumulative time. This seems to adjust the amperage being used. So the unit's set up to have a coarse setting for the amount of amperage used, and then a fine adjustment. By holding the button down with the long press, it beeps and resets the counters. This will come in pretty handy for me testing power supplies and various voltage sources that I have. And this is today's Postbag.